It happens during my NYC. I was traveling back home and I was at the ATM point.
You were the word at the beginning.
And the lady behind me with a baby requested that if I could help her to withdraw from the ATM because she was not literate enough to use it. And I was not sensible enough to understand that I could easily have verified what she's asking me to do for her, and also to wonder why she couldn't get the attention of the security guards. We never know sometimes when things happen to us. So I agreed to help her, and that particular day I used two ATM cards. One was the first bank I was using before I went for NYC, and the second one was the one I registered to start using during NYC. So I used my two ATM, and then I collected the ATM from her, and I helped her to withdraw. I think she withdrew about 10,000 or thereabout. And after she finished withdrawing, she thanked me, she left, and then I went on my journey and came back home. In less than 48 hours, I got a call from one of my female friend in NYC, and she told me, Tayo, you are wanted. Wanted for what? He said my picture has been pasted and I was wanted. I was wanted for for forgery. I was wanted for theft. I was wanted for whatever name the legal term has to describe what I've done. So she told me she went to the same bank and she saw my picture pasted out and they were looking for this person. She asked to know what happened, and then they told her that this guy stole ATM and was used it to withdraw. The owner have complained. So I couldn't cope where I was back at home. I had to rush back from where I traveled back to my family, came back to Ondo State. And when I came back, I just stepped into the bank. And the first thing they told me at the customer care was, how did you get it? Did the police saw you? Did the security saw you? And they said I was lucky because instruction has been given that anywhere I'm found, I should be arrested. Where I was working for Skipper Polytechnic, the information was there already. So I sat and they asked me what happened. I introduced myself as a call member. And I said I couldn't remember the story, but all I knew was that sometimes ago, I was at the ATM and somebody asked me to help. And they said, are you not sensible enough to know that you're not supposed to help anybody? Why would somebody have an ATM and is not literate enough? Or are you supposed to just do this? And they told me a lot of persons that have innocently been arrested for what they didn't know. So I was asked to wait, and the man was called. The man that made the report. Immediately the man was called. The man saw me and the man was foaming. He wanted to beat me, he wanted to do everything. I could see anger and hatred in his eye. But the guy was looking at me somehow. And then the guy asked me, do I know you? I said no. Have I seen you before? He said no. Do you know my family? I said no. He said, so what are you doing with my ATM? So I said, madam, actually, what happened was that a particular woman requested our assistant. So before he came in, they tried to ask me a question and I explained to them. And the description I was giving was the description of the wife. And when we asked about the wife, based on my description, I said no, that the wife has traveled and the wife is not around. That same day was when the wife traveled. So it's not possible for the wife to have done that without him. And he always goes out with his ATM card. So the person must have stolen the ATM. So we started talking and the thing was looking like the wife. And he wanted to do everything possible to get me arrested or whatever. So they insisted that he go and get the wife. This was around 8. The bank was closed. I was there. I was detained. And they insisted the man go and get the wife. So the man went and got the wife, brought the wife in. And then when the wife told me, the wife was looking exactly, when she saw me, she was scared. And then she turned her face and she became red. And she started saying that she doesn't know me. She denied me. I said, no, I know me. I said, mommy, thank God, though I've seen you. I said, that ATM you asked me to help you at my back. You said the dog beats your child. I should help you. She started crying and said, God forbid, why am I saying something negative about the child? That nothing happened to the child. She's fine. Nothing is wrong with her. Why would she steal from her husband? She doesn't know me. It was a collusion. I wanted to scatter our marriage. For the first time, men don't cry. But I cried. I cried that day because this was the woman that asked me to help her. Ordinarily, I wanted to help her, but she told me her child was beaten by a dog. And she needed to imagine watch the child. The husband gave her the ATM. Then the husband said, no, you are lying. I can't believe you at the expense of my wife. My son was not sick. I took care of my wife. My wife has never asked me for anything I don't give her. So it became a problem. So they went and checked the camera to see what really happened, and they saw me withdrawing and handing over to somebody. But what the woman did was that, as if she knew she was an expert, she didn't stand directly in front of the camera because the ATM has 3 cameras. She didn't stay there. And they were still asking questions. We were there till like 9. This woman refused. She was crying. I was crying. There was nobody to believe. And the man was that I was lucky that if he had caught me outside this premise, he would have either shot me, beat me up, or done something that is jungle justice based. And that the police would have arrested me. I couldn't just believe me, even though I was a young guy, I was an NYC guy, that money would have been my problem, but the wife can't be the problem, because if the wife was responsible, that means this is the end of their marriage. So they tried to intervene and everything, and so they brought the video camera. They took me there, and they found in the video camera that the woman was the one. And to make matters worse, the same dress she was wearing, the same hairstyle, everything she wore that day she asked me to help her was the same thing she was wearing the day we were called to bring this out. So they tried to ask the woman to open up. The woman refused. They asked me to open up. I refused, and they said, okay, let's do this. So what they did was that they called the man in, they called me in, and they played the video. And the video showed exactly the woman. But the man denied. They said, no, I'm not the one. It's not my wife, because it was being played in black and white. And then finally, the video was shown, and it was showing the woman. So while the woman was out there, they called the woman again and said, madam, please, this boy cannot lie against you. The woman said, I'm not the one. So they brought the woman in to see the video. It was showing black and white. The woman refused and said she's not the one. Then they played the video in color. The woman said she's not the one. Then everybody was saying that you are still wearing the same clothes. You are still having the hairstyle. And then the woman broke down and said she's sorry. It was so funny that every negative thing was coming to my head. Should I sue this woman? Should I beat her? Should I do this? But I remember I was a Christian. And thank God nothing worse happened. I remember she's old enough to be my mom. I remember what if negative has happened. I remember that when God has fight for me, I will not have to fight for myself. And I was just there because I had to call my CLO, I had to call my CDS coordinator and everybody else in NYC. And I had the right of suing the woman and the husband for, I don't know what they call it now, defamation of character or something. But because I was a kingdom child, and in our kingdom, we don't revenge, we don't avenge, we let go. So the man was apologizing, asked for my phone number, promised to reimburse me, and then the wife was there. And the man turned to the wife and said, look, from here, just go back to your parents' house. That was around 9 or 10, we were still in the bank. Just go to your parents' house. And the man was trying to divorce the wife at the moment. And everybody was having their opinion that it was because the man was not nice to the wife. That if the man has been nice to the wife won't steal his money. Other people said the woman was wicked. And that was the beginning and the end. But the story was that I was just innocently unwise. If I had been wise enough, I would have taken a further step of asking the woman to call the security guy. I would have asked the woman to stay right in front of me while I tell her without helping her. So the story is, it's possible for you to be innocent, and you can innocently be jailed. You can innocently be held responsible for what you are not guilty of. So guys, be wise as a serpent, be gentle as a dove. I learned my lesson. So since that day, if anybody is asking me for help, I try to be more sensitive. I try to ensure that I'm knowledgeable in that area. I don't just jump into a conclusion and say, okay, this person is asking me this. I look before I leap. And that is being wise as a serpent and being innocent. If I had been wise, if I had been innocent, if I had been sensitive, I won't have gotten myself into that state. So I learned my lesson. And guys and friends, as you step out today, yes, I know you have that interest to be human, to help people, but please be sensitive. Make sure that your good does not become evil spoken of. Abstain from the appearance of evil. Make sure that whatever you are doing, let it be plain and pure, so that people can defend you. What if that my friend have not been nice to her? She will have probably been one of those that will have said, yes, arrest her, arrest him, or something like that. So guys, the lesson from that is that let's be sensitive. Let's have a good reputation and integrity, so that even when people are saying we are wrong, people can stand up and say, no, I know him. That's the lesson for today, guys. That was how I almost got arrested. But I learned my lesson, and the lesson is still there. I'm very sensitive now. When people ask me for help, I want to know whether it's a need or a want. If it's a want, I can ignore it, but if it's a need, I try to do what is possible. So guys, as you go out today, please be sensitive. Help people, but be sensitive as you help. And make sure that your help is open and clear, so that you will not get it on your head back. Okay, have a nice day, guys. See you.